we have results from the New York City mayoral primaries. These, of course, have been the subject of much discussion, in part because of the inclusion of former Democratic Congressman Anthony Weiner, who was involved in any number of sexting and twunking, right? Tweeting your junk. I guess we're calling it twunking or tweenising. I don't remember what we eventually agreed on. In any case, the numbers are in, and it is not good for Anthony Weiner. On the Democratic side, Bill de Blasio, 40.2%. 40.2%. He received the plurality of votes. In second place is William Thompson at 26.1%. Anthony Weiner, as we talked about, experienced significant shrinkage when it came to his poll numbers, Lewis, down to 7%. He ended up with an even more flaccid 4.9%. I almost was able to get through that. Only 31,000 votes for Anthony Weiner. I'm not at all surprised. The campaign was off to just a disastrous start, and it was, subsequent disaster after disaster for him.
Right. And of course, the icing on the cake was the exchange in that deli. Certainly didn't help. But yeah, I mean, realistically, I don't think he should have bothered with this at all.
As a point of note, if the final tally drops Bill de Blasio below 40%, the preliminary count is 40.2%, that would actually trigger a runoff with the second place candidate, William Thompson, because you have to have at least 40% to avoid a runoff election. On the Republican side, Joe Lauda won with 52.6% of the vote. I think that a progressive New York City mayor would be really interesting, not because of all this sidebar about Weiner and Spitzer and Bloomberg, not because of that, but very specifically because so many people have given credit to the kind of conservative side of Rudy Giuliani and Michael Bloomberg for the good things that have happened in New York City, right? Whether you talk about reductions in crime or city cleanup, so on and so forth. However, we may finally get the opportunity to see if it's really the progressive side of Rudy Giuliani and Michael Bloomberg that benefits the city if and when we have a more progressive mayor in New York City, like, for example, Bill de Blasio, if he does end up going on to win, to see that, because there are so many, there's this conservative element which says, fine, New York's liberal, Rudy Giuliani, and even more so Michael Bloomberg are very moderate. Michael Bloomberg, an independent, Rudy Giuliani, a more moderate Republican, and it is really their right-wing side which has benefited the city. Let's explore that further. Let's give a progressive a shot, Lewis, here, and see what happens.
Yeah, I think it's definitely worth a shot. I hope it does happen. We have to ask, would this progressive focus on banning large sodas, or would they be doing something a bit more productive?
Right.
We'll see.
Lewis doesn't like the soda ban. So we'll continue to follow the New York City mayoral election.